Minute since I've done a live, and I was just thinking about this. I'm like, I really spent the last year and a half on like a healing journey, a personal journey. Sorry, there's a thing on my hair. It's making me distracted. Um, but in that process, I've learned so much, and it's come really full circle into what I do in my business, what I do for my clients. And in case you guys don't know, I actually got a job doing marketing now, which is pretty cool. Pretty dang cool. Just such a serendipitous happening that happened. I'll have to share about that on another video. But what I want to talk about is Pinterest changing. I've seen some emails going around. I've seen some posts going around about changes happening on Pinterest. They've got a new CEO. They've got some new direction that they're going. They're really doubling down on e-commerce and those kinds of things. And so what does that mean for us? And while I can get into the super duper nitty gritty of it all, what I want to do is really think about and really share the process of it, right? Because I've been having success on Pinterest since around 2016, 2017, but I've been on Pinterest a long time. Like they've got to be like coming up on 10 years. It's so funny because like I never memorize any of that kind of stuff. But it's been a long, long time back when Pinterest looked like little Polaroid pictures. Um, I was on there way back then when it was like an invite only kind of thing. And not because I was special, but I just happened to talk to the right people and got in there. Okay, so I want to talk about this process because it doesn't really matter what the change is, right? We can get super duper hung up by like, oh, they changed this to e-commerce. Oh, they've got idea pins and you can't have links. Oh, now idea pins have links. Oh, they've got ads. Oh, they've got this. Oh, they've got that, right? So hey, Cheryl, good to see you. Hi, Tennille, good to see you as well. So yeah, so there's always something that's changing. Like, let's not get hung up on the details of the change. What I want to share with you is the process that I go through to deal with it, because the one guarantee in social media, not just Pinterest, but if we kind of broaden out to digital marketing, everything's changing all the time, right? It's always changing because it's always evolving. Now we're seeing AI, chat, whatever that is. I forget. Like I just see all that stuff coming across on social. Everybody's posting about different things. It's always going to change. Nice to see you too, Cheryl. Thank you so much. So let's talk about doing new things, right? Because this is something that like when we're in school, and I don't know about you, but this is kind of my view of it. When we're in school and we're learning how to or we're growing up, we're learning how to operate in the world. We're learning algebra, we're learning history, we're learning all those things. We kind of have this idea that like we're going to learn it once and then we don't need to exercise that muscle anymore. But really, we're learning the whole time in our life, right? We're constantly doing new things. And so it's almost like this, like a myth that we're led to believe that like, oh, you'll learn everything when you're younger and then you'll just kind of keep applying it, right? You go to college, you learn marketing, and then you learn your job or whatever it is, and then you just keep applying that, right? You don't have to keep learning. And so that muscle, that learning muscle seems to atrophy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about doing new things this weekend. For a few years now, I've been wanting to learn how to ski or snowboard. Really would love to know how to snowboard. Don't have the balance for that yet. But this weekend, I went skiing for the first time. A friend of mine took me, got me lessons, picked me up. I fell a lot of times. I'm still extremely sore from it. And a couple things happened that I noticed. And I think this is really relevant to business and why I've had a level of resiliency in the face of all these changes. And then and this is something that I see too in the people that have success and that continue to have success even though there are a lot of changes. So one thing was I was falling down a lot, right? I fell on my knee, I fell on my butt, I fell forward, I fell sideways, my skis popped off. Like I got jacked up on the lift and one of my skis popped off. Like things were just happening. And throughout it all, I didn't realize I was doing this until the ski instructor called it out. The ski instructor called it out and she said that she's like, I really like your attitude. You're just having a lot of fun with it. Like every time you fall, you're laughing and you get right back up. Now, at the very end of the lesson, it was 2 hours. My legs were shaking. My arms were shaking. I couldn't even ski down the hill because I couldn't even control the skis at that point. Had to take the skis off, had to walk down the hill. That was a bummer, but I still kept getting up and going, right? And I also recognized kind of where my limit was there. But it was really cool to have her notice that I was having joy in the process, right? Just because things are changing on social media, just because we're encountering some territory, maybe we don't know what to do, maybe we don't understand it, maybe we don't see the possibilities for our business, doesn't mean that we can't approach it with a level of joy, curiosity, awe, wonder, and enjoyment. Because we're dealing with the same problem, right? We can deal with it in a miserable way, right? I could have been like, oh, I'm falling down on my butt at the ski slopes. Oh, this sucks, blah, blah, blah. I could totally been like that, right? But that's just ruining the time for me, right? The same with our marketing. I think sometimes we look at work as like work. It has to be drudgery. It's hard. Oh man, they changed something else again on Pinterest. I'm going to struggle. It's going to be difficult. It doesn't have to be that way, right? We can approach it with joy and curiosity and awe and wonder. And sometimes when you're in the middle of that place of frustration, it's really hard to get to that place of positivity and optimism. But it can be done, right? I'm doing it. I used to be the most cynical person on the planet, right? Really angry all the time. I've been able to make that shift. And that's really served me in having success on Pinterest. The other thing I noticed is that through this process of learning how to ski, I'm really sore, really sore. And so I'm having to do some things to take care of myself, right? Take some Epsom salt baths, go to bed early, did some stretching this morning, taking a magnesium supplement, things like that to take care of myself. And all that to say that, like, as we're going through this process of learning, like, oh man, Pinterest is doing this change, or they're really pushing e-commerce. I'm a blogger. I want to get my traffic. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Take care of yourself, right? Give yourself permission to like try some things out, do some things to take care of yourself so that you can have that space to explore the new thing. Okay. So I'm really going to pull this back to just Pinterest now instead of talking about skiing. Um, we know that Pinterest changes all the time, right? They're always doing something new. Every platform is changing all the time, right? The algorithm is changing. The artificial intelligence that's kind of applying the algorithm to the users is constantly learning. So that in itself, just the way that it's built, is inherently always changing, right? So a few things that we can do to weather these changes. Doesn't matter what the change is about. Okay. So let's not worry about like, is it idea pins? Is it video? Is it live? Is it Pinterest TV or whatever? It doesn't matter. All right. First, know what you're good at. Okay. Know what you're good at and what you've done before. There are things that are within your control that are in your wheelhouse that you have done before. One thing that you can control, your attitude, right? Your attitude. Can I approach this from a place of curiosity? Can I approach this from a place of positivity? Can I approach this from a place of optimism? Because if you come at it and you're real angry and you're real frustrated, that might feel good in the moment to have that release, but it's not going to move you forward, right? The solutions aren't going to come in that you need. So you can control your attitude. You can also know, like, hey, you know what? I've done things before. I can do it again, right? I've had success on Pinterest before. I can do it again. If you're brand new to Pinterest and you haven't had success there, there is something in your life that you came into, didn't know how to do, right? Said, I want to do this. I want to get the result. And you figured it out, right? That skill doesn't matter whether you applied it to jujitsu or skiing or Pinterest or learning how to blog or setting up your Shopify shop. It doesn't matter. All that stuff we never knew how to do. We figured it out along the way. So you can do that again. And one of the biggest things that I have had to learn in this process is really to trust myself and trust my intellect, right? You are smart. You can figure this out. It is all figure outable. Humans came up with Pinterest. Humans wrote that code. Humans designed the system. Humans can figure out how to get results from it. That is totally a given, right? But first, to do that, we have to trust ourselves. Hey, I'm going to learn this. I'm probably going to make some mistakes. That's cool. Knowing what I know now, I am going to move forward and take action. And then the other thing is trust our intellect, right? We are smart, right? We are smart. We can figure things out. So trust that, like, everything that you know up to this point is preparing you to be able to learn how to take steps forward in whatever you're trying to do, right? Getting traffic on Pinterest, for example. So why doesn't everybody do this, right? Because it just seems really simple what I'm talking about. Well, one, we expect things to be easy. We're like, oh, Pinterest changed something. I expect to be able to get results pretty easily. I expect to go and take a course on it, and then it's just going to like install the success in my mind. And then I just got to go tappity tap and things are going to happen. It's not, things aren't always easy, right? There's that saying, right? Things are simple, but not easy. So we have this expectation that things are going to be easy. And when they're not, we take that to mean something, right? We make the pain of learning mean something, right? Like I could make the pain of me falling on my butt and realizing that, like, oh, my muscles are not as strong as I'd like to be when I was learning to ski. I could take that to mean like, oh, I'm weak. Oh, I'm suck. Oh, I can't do it. Right. I can make it mean all that crap. Does that get me to the goal? No. All that does is waste time and then make me feel miserable in the process. Right. So it's okay to feel that stuff, get it out of the way, then move forward, right? But everybody doesn't do that. They make the pain of learning mean something. Pinterest won't work for me. My business isn't on, it won't work for my business. I got everything I could out of it and now there's no possibility, right? We make it mean something when we can't have success, but it doesn't mean a damn thing, right? You just got to try something different. That's it, right? Going back to trusting yourself. And that's the thing. A lot of us don't trust ourselves. We're like, oh, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to mess it up. So then what do? We don't take action. And then another year goes by and another year goes by and another year goes by that you are not building an organic traffic machine, that you are not getting traffic from Pinterest because you're not doing the things to get traffic from Pinterest because it's like a paralysis from not trusting yourself. Just take some action. You can't learn what works or doesn't work if you don't take any action at all. Then you might be like, well, I don't even know where to start, right? Like if someone was to drop me off at the mountain and give me a couple skis and some boots, I never put on ski boots before Saturday when I tried them on, right? I wouldn't know what to do, but I would figure it out. I'd have to start taking action because if I just sat there with the gear and didn't do anything, I never would have the experience. Right now that I have the experience, now I can start adjusting and I can learn and move forward. But you've got to show up there and you have to start by trusting yourself. You have to take action. Nothing will happen without action being taken. And this is like the biggest mistake I see people make is they're like, either whatever reason they've justified it. The ship has sailed. There's no opportunity on Pinterest. I don't have time for that. I don't know what to do. Whatever the reason is, they end up not taking action, right? You've got to take action because you can't learn and you can't have any possibility of getting results if you don't take the action. And this goes to this thing that we start to talk ourselves into the idea that there is some magic or some secret. And I'm a marketer and I've relied on this too in marketing products, especially my own programs and especially in the past. I try not to do this anymore, but I probably still do it to some level, right? Oh, there's magic. Oh, there's secret sauce. Oh, download my free guide and you're going to get my 5 super successful tips for Pinterest, right? That stuff's great, but just know there is no magic. There is no secret sauce. There is no insider track. There may be more information, but that's all accessible to everybody. You start taking action, you start learning, you make adjustments. So here's what you got to do, right? It's just like Yoda says, there's no try, just do. And I catch myself with that word try a lot. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to try to do this. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I going to do it or not? Right? No try, just do, just like Master Yoda says. So Facebook user says, yes, just do it. So here's what you got to do. All right. Super simple. 1, go into analytics on your Pinterest account. You don't got analytics set up? Set it up. You need Pinterest analytics and Google Analytics at a bare minimum. And Google Search Console is like a super bonus. Doesn't totally help you with Pinterest, but it kind of does, right? All this stuff ties together, right? Nothing exists in a vacuum. Everything touches everything else. So first thing, go into your analytics. What is happening there, right? Get curious. What's getting traffic? What's working? What's not working? What boards have the most activity? Who's pinning your stuff? Where are they pinning it to? You can get a lot of insight from that. Just get in there and start looking around, right? You're not going to break anything. You're not going to break anything by doing that. The next step is go read the blog. I mean, yeah, you can go read my blog, but go read Pinterest blog. It's on Medium. You can find it. You can go into the newsroom on Pinterest site. Go get the news, go get the information. That's your source, right? Everybody who's out there who is a Pinterest expert, myself included, we go there to get our information, right? We didn't just like sit here one day, or like I have my little red phone behind me, wherever it is, you could see it. I don't have a line to Pinterest where I'm like, hey, tell me all the secret sauce. No, we're looking at the news, right? We're looking at what Pinterest is putting out. You can do that too. It's not a secret. It's right there. So number one, go to analytics, start looking at your numbers. Number two, go read the Pinterest blog. And number three is do things. Say, okay, based on what I see happening on my account, based on the guidance that Pinterest has issued, the news that's coming out, what are they sharing? This is what I think I need to do next, right? This is about discernment. This is what I teach inside my program, Smart Pin Pro. I teach you how to look at all that stuff, read it, and come up with a plan. And then we repeat, rinse, and repeat, right? Look at the analytics. Look at what they're giving you as guidance. What direction do I need to go? Awesome. Do it. Go in that direction. Then go back to analytics. Did that work? Did it not work? What worked? What didn't work? All that stuff. Learn and adjust. That's it. We make this process so dang complicated. And yeah, I have a program on Pinterest. It is easier if somebody explains to you that stuff, right? Taking a course, investing in a consultant, hiring a coach, those things are all really, really great to help you get over the learning hump, to help you get the information that, like, okay, maybe you're reading what's on the blog and you're like, having a little trouble figuring out what that's about. That's totally cool. That's why you take a program, right? Or that's why you take a course, or that's why you invest in getting a coach or a guide to help you through. But that's not the secret, okay? What I'm telling you is just a simple, simple process. You will never get results if you do not show up and take the action. You have to. You have to, because you won't get the results. And there's so many companies that I see, like people will come to me and they'll say, we've ignored Pinterest for years. Now we're finally ready to do it. Well, it's like you want to have a forest in your backyard, but you just left the dirt there for years. You never planted anything there. You're going to have to start somewhere, right? So start now. Like Pinterest is beautiful in so many ways. And you go back through my videos on here and I talk about it over and over again. I don't want to make this video too long, but you put a pin on Pinterest, it grows forever. It's always there. It can always get picked up in the future and gain momentum. And you guys, I saw this, especially during COVID. It was such an interesting time because old stuff that I thought was dead came back up from the ether and started getting momentum. So the beautiful thing about Pinterest is you're not on a 24-hour cycle, a 1-hour cycle, or any of that like you are on a lot of other social media. You put a pin out there, it lives forever. It keeps going. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. But you have to take action. You have to take action. Okay. So Pinterest is going to change all the time. Just a quick recap. Pinterest will change all the time. Don't sweat it. Follow my super simple process, right? Analytics, data in the form of news from Pinterest, take action, analyze what happened, go back to analytics and rinse and repeat. This is it. That's in the simplest form how not only you do stuff on Pinterest, but on any social media platform. And you guys, I've been doing this a long time. Last month was 20 years in business. I can't even believe that I've had 20 years of online business. Like, it's crazy. I don't even feel that old. But I'm telling you, these are the patterns. Like looking back, I'm like, oh, it's just the same process over and over and over. We just insert Pinterest, insert Instagram, insert idea pins, insert YouTube, whatever. Yes, there's nuances but between the platforms, but it's really the same process over and over again. So when we can get comfortable being in this process, it doesn't matter that they're going to change stuff. They're going to change stuff all the time. Doesn't affect me, because what do? I go back to the process. What do my analytics say? What are they telling me with the news they're putting out? What action am I going to take to get the results that I want? That's it. All right. So I've dropped a link to my roadmap here. Roadmap's got some old stuff in it. Totally cool, right? It still works. All that stuff still works. So if you're downloading it and you're like, well, this looks like she said this a while ago. Yeah, I did. It totally works. Go get the roadmap. What that does is that puts you on my email list. It gets you emails coming to you with more information, more resources, links to other videos that'll help you, as well as links to my Facebook group where you can go and get free help. Like, get on over there. All right. I hope you see you guys over there. Right now, I've got to wrap this up. I'm going to go do our weekly coaching call over inside of my program, Smart Pin Pro, where I help businesses like yours get traffic with Pinterest. And I'll see you guys over there if you're members. I'd love to have you join.